Today's review is sponsored by BigBadToyStore.com. Where does RedX get his incredible toys? At BigBadToyStore.com. Where else can you buy top-of-the-line quality products at an affordable price? Head on over to BigBadToyStore.com right now and start your pre-ordering for this and other great products today. And tell them RedX and Nicole sent you.
What's going on, everyone? RedX is back with another RedX review of epic proportions. I know it's been a while, but I don't have to explain. Let's just say I've been very busy on my other accounts. So, let's just go ahead and get to today's review, which is none other than the return of the Sonic franchise once again to RedX reviews. It is Tails and his PDA device from the brand new Sonic line from Jazwares. This came out back in, I want to say, late December, early January, that's as best as I can remember. Sorry it took me a while to finally get to reviewing this thing, but as you can see, I just got this thing. I don't have to explain why, you're about to find out soon enough. But, taking a look at the package, it's pretty much what you would come to expect from Jazwares. They like to throw Sonic everywhere. Sonic here, Sonic here, Sonic here, Sonic here, Sonic's name, Sonic's name, Sonic's name, Sonic's name. Oh look, a little mention of Tails and his PDA device. And Jazwares logo. And that's pretty much it. So let's get this out of the way. And let's bring in the man himself. What, you think I was talking about Sonic? No, I'm talking about Tails. Here's Tails right here. Notice the Tails went through a little bit of a change with my figure. Now, no, Jazwares has not gotten the scale right. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. I had to take care of this problem myself, but now that they're using the brand new articulation style, giving them the ability to swivel at the elbows and swivel at the knees, I decided to pop those little extensions off and just give him basic legs. Yeah, sure, he can't bend them, unless of course you cheat. I mean, you can turn it this way, and there you go. Yeah, now he's kicking. And he can sit down in his little vehicle that I'm putting together, which I'm not going to explain. I mean, everybody's going to find out in time, pretty much. I mean, that's all I can really say about it. I mean, there really isn't much to go about beyond the changes. It's a pretty good scale with all the other characters now. But before we get to the scale, let's go ahead and talk about the articulation. It's pretty basic for the brand new articulated style of the figures, which I have to admit are not really that great. I really do not like them. Sure, it gives them a little more movement, a little more free play when it comes to posing these figures, but it hinders the sculpt of these figures. The proportions are either a hit or a miss. Tails was lucky enough to be, he's pretty good, let's put it that way. It's not perfect, but it works. Unlike Sonic, it didn't. I mean, Sonic isn't supposed to be beefy at the arms or the legs. I mean, he's supposed to be as skinny as a twig, pretty much. And, I mean, for Tails, it works. So, Tails is passable, but Sonic, on the other hand, they need to work on this a little bit more. They need to work on the scale, and they need to work on the proportions. But after my little modding I did to Tails, which I probably am going to throw up on sonicgear.org if they'll accept it, I think he looks pretty dang good. So for articulation, like I said, it's what you would expect from the new one. It's a swivel head, universal shoulder joints, bicep swivel, I guess you can consider it bicep swivel, why not? And then of course he's got the pivot at the elbow, his wrist rotates, waist rotates, if you can call it a rotation. It kind of ruins the look, but whatever. And his feet, I just showed you, they do actually go up and down, and they actually do rotate. Now, if you do this modification, just take note that he's not going to have any knee joints, but the original figure does have knee joints. His knees will bend at a 90 degrees, and they will swivel as well. So, that's the only difference between modding the figure and what the original look looks like. And really, when he's got those extra joints to the legs, so he's got knee joints, it really makes him too tall. Very tall. I mean, he's taller than Sonic. For some quick size comparisons, let me just, adjust the camera. And yeah, his tail happens to make him look down a little bit, but I can fix that later on. And here's Sonic. As you can see, Sonic now towers over Tails like it's supposed to be. And he's not even standing straight. It's because I got him in a pose, my bad. There you go. Knee joints or not, this makes him look right. And let's bring in some other characters. Let's bring in Knuckles. Because obviously Knuckles is supposed to be the tallest out of the trio. And just for personal reasons, let's just bring in Amy. Why not? So, there you go. So, there's your size differences. And as you can see, if I get Sonic and Knuckles out of the way, push these two next to each other. Yep, just like in Sonic X, actually. Amy is a tad taller than Tails. So yeah, it works. I think it looks great. And let's bring in his accessories now, because what's a figure without accessories? Well, don't answer that, Jazwares, because it took you long enough to give us something. Tails got himself a clear display stand, which he actually can peg into very nicely. Like so. So there you go, there's that. And he also has his signature PDA device, which was in a few Sonic games. I think it was also in Sonic Unleashed in the Xbox and PlayStation 3 version. And, you know what? It was mainly, I remember this being in Sonic Colors. That's the best I can remember it. It was used to translate whatever the Wisps were saying, which is kind of cool. The radar ditch does actually rotate a little bit, but I wouldn't force it because it looks like it's bound to break sooner or later. And Tails can actually hold his little PDA device, given the hint of his new hands, open hands, pretty cool. So he can look at his little PDA device, and there you go, there's that. My only real complaint about this figure, besides the scale not being changed whatsoever, is the fact that, I mean, it's good work. It's really great work, but the paintwork could have been better. I mean, it's really sloppy at the boots. As you can see, his cuffs are painted over his actual, I don't know what you call them. I call them socks. Let's just call them socks. So, the socks are covered up by the cuffs in paintwork, which is no, Jazwares. And he's missing the cuffs on his gloves. As you can see, they're not there. They're not present. Or if anything, they're not even painted. So, you know, just little minor problems here and there, but overall the figure is actually fantastic, especially if you do this modification work, because really, this is supposed to be the scale between these two, and it's a total nightmare every time I have to look at a taller Tails figure when compared to Sonic. I mean, that is just, it's so wrong, it's definitely out of scale, and Jazwares should be ashamed of themselves for every time they release a figure that is out of scale. I mean, there's quite a few of them. There's Silver. There's Blaze the Cat. She's even out of scale. I could go on, but those are the main two besides Tails that I could possibly think of. Oh, and speaking of which, you probably want to know what's the size difference between him now and the original Tails. Yeah, well, this is pretty much what I was talking about at the beginning when I said we would get right to it. There you go. There's the original Tails. Let's just say there's some other future projects in the work that I'm currently trying to put together right now in the skeleton stage that I'll explain more later on. But if you actually check out my DeviantArt page, you'll get all the answers there as time goes on. But for that now, that's it, guys. That's the end of this review, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Questions or comments, leave them below. I'll answer when I got time. And until the next RedX review of Epic Proportions, that's me, RedX, signing out. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Take care.